What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned into another episode of Everyday Heroes, and you got real name Wynton, JB Written, and Jason from the We Are Not Okay podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Before we get into anything, I just want to, say thank you, Jason, for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, longtime friend. So, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm excited to kind of talk about these things with you. Um, Before we get into our topics, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the show. Hit that notification ding, and you'll get notified every time we come out. iTunes, Spotify, everything, Google Play, you name it, we on it. All right. So, Drew Brees, Drew Brees. Um, he said some comments, there's a lot of the black community took offense to it, and there was some people that stood up for him, uh, aka Charles Barkley. But he said something. He said that he could never side with someone who disrespected our flag. And the way he sounded when he said that, if you go look it up, he meant it. It was deep embedded in him, and he was passionate about what he said. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Jason. Let's just get your thoughts on that, man.
So that was highly disappointing for me personally because I have always liked Drew Brees ever since back in Purdue. Number 15. Like that's how long I kind of been following this gentleman, and it's unfortunate because you can obviously tell that he's got that privilege that we've been continuing to talk about, and he only saw it from one side. Um, it is very hard for me to continue to see how people have really trashed Colin Kaepernick, prosecuted Colin
Mm-hmm.
Kaepernick in a court of public opinion about what he did. And he was very clear about why he was kneeling. He was very clear that it was about the disenfranchised. He was very clear that it was about police brutality. And our president, like he does on everything, changed that narrative. And people took that narrative and they ate it up. And now we're in the midst of, well, let's call it what it is, a huge tragedy that has happened in our country, time and time again. And now we got cities on fire. And you would think this would be that wake up call for everyone to finally go, you know what? Now we get it. We should have did this like Colin wanted to back in 2016. And then he makes that statement. And it just shows me, I don't care how much community activism you supposedly do in the city of New Orleans, like you are out of touch. You are
Yeah.
out of touch with today. You are out of touch with African Americans, and these same men that protect you, these same men that catch a football from you, you let them down, and that just basically tells me that you may share that locker room space with them, but you have never understood those gentlemen, and that's what makes it so disheartening for him to say that. Like I get how he feels about his grandfathers and the pride that he has. I still question why it was just the grandfathers and it never trickled down. I think, there's some things there. But at the same time, like, understand what it was about. Like, he completely dismissed that. And I have a hard time with that. Like, don't you look outside? Don't you look at the news and see what's happening right now? Like, we don't need people that are going to continue to draw a divide. We need people that are going to help us come together so we can actually fix this problem so this doesn't happen again. So that's kind of my piece on it.
All right, all right, all right. I like that one. I like that one. Um, do you think the linemen should protect Drew Brees?
I, listen, I can't tell you what these men should do in front of
It's
him.
an echo in
I
here.
Did it get better?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
better
I don't.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear echo.
I Listen. I can't tell these men what they're gonna do. Will it shock me if I saw them on the first play of the season just kind of drop down? Um, it wouldn't surprise me if I saw that. But
Hmm.
I think his teammates need to educate him. Now I know Malcolm Jenkins reached out. Malcolm Jenkins has always been a huge activist in the African American community. I know Michael Thomas spoke out. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have some conversations because he retracted his statement, but I think that's a whole nother conversation of why he did that. But I'm not gonna say I think these men on his team should not block for him or not do these things because that's not the way the game is played. But I think somebody needs to sit down with him and have a real life conversation with him because he needs to be educated because that was unfortunate again.
This is not the first time that he's come out about this, and it seemed like the way he said it this time, it was almost like, "Don't ask me this question again." And the way he said it, I can kind of tell that there was some very deep, passionate feelings about whatever he has about this flag as of right now. And you hit the nail right on the head. I do think his teammates need to educate him, and but most importantly, start Jamies. Let's go ahead and start Jamies out here, man. I think they should, and see what happens from there, man. What do you think, JB?
All right. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Okay. I think we're being a little bit too hard on Drew Brees. All right. To me personally, I don't feel like Drew Brees is a bad person. He just dumb to the topic. He just, you know what I'm saying? He just don't know about Black lives. And of course, like you said, my brother, he need to be educated on it. So this right here, instead of being hard on him, this is a teachable, a preachable moment um, that I feel like we, as a community, we need to forgive him. Um, because I don't think he said it in the me to me. I don't think he said it in a vindictive way. He was just talking personally within his fathers, but he misunderstood that a lot of black people was in that war too. And when we came back, we wasn't as free as his grandfathers was. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't looking at it in this way. He was looking at it more as like, oh, my fathers and my grandfathers fought for this country, and I'm proud of that. But he forgot
Hmm.
the turmoil that we went through. Okay. And I feel like this is a great moment in history, a great lesson in history for somebody like Drew Brees. We see that going through this for white people, not for black people, because we already know, we see it. But the problem is they don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And somebody like Drew Brees going through this, and we're teaching him and preaching to him that what he did was stupid. More white people would be like, "Damn," you know what I mean? Maybe we are naive to the fact that, or maybe we are just not really looking at it like that. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I feel like some people, we beat him up. We told him about himself, and I feel like the team and people need to forgive him. You know what I'm saying? Because I forgive him. You know what I mean? I don't want him to retire. You know what I mean? I mean, which if it can't be forgiven, which is not a bad idea for him to retire, because I hate to be on the field with other black people trying to knock his fucking block off. But but there's rules in place for that. But if I'm wrong, then I could be wrong. Y'all can tell me. You know what I mean? But that's just how I feel.
Listen, I don't feel like you wrong in saying that we shouldn't beat him up, and I'm not advocating for him to get beat up. What I'm saying is, look at what happened last week. Think
Mm-hmm.
about the week after, the week before that. Think about this week. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can't avoid it. Is what I'm saying. And knowing that you can't avoid it, knowing that we have now been saying, look, Colin tried to do this in 2016. He tried to do this peacefully to the same people that are like, they burning down stuff. And then for him to jump on and just not acknowledge that. Like, I think that's the problem I have. He didn't acknowledge that. He looked
Yep.
at
Correct.
it from his side and his side only. And that's what I'm saying. That's that privilege that he got that
Yep.
he completely enacted and didn't even realize he did it.
But
So you are right.
anytime.
It is a
Yeah.
teachable moment, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you have a platform, and when you have a platform, you have a responsibility. When you work with the amount of African Americans that he works
Mm-hmm.
with, right? And in the community, don't say you here for us and then make that kind of a statement. Or if that's not what you meant, which is very important right now in the age of social media, make sure you are 100% crystal clear. So it
You
can
know,
be some gray area in there, but he got to be clear.
there's PR teams and stuff like that in place. I'm sure he has a PR team, and when it comes to something like this that's really important, he should have reached out to them first before trying to speak on something he don't know what he's talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he was saying it in the fact of he knew. Like, white people just don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't, either they don't know or they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he just don't think about those things because he don't live in the same life as we do. Like, he's more privileged, so he's not really even thinking about it. Like, think about it last year in 2018, 19. If he would have said this comment, it wouldn't have been nothing. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been as big as it is now. Because now this
You're
is
correct.
going yeah, because now this is going on and he said it now, this is the worst time to say it. You know what I mean? So I feel like right now is a teachable moment and a preachable moment for a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I feel like we need to, because I was watching a video the other day where a black girl, it was a protest, and a black girl started filming a white girl spraying uh on the side of a wall. And she was like, "Look, people, this ain't, you think they think there's going to be black people out here doing this, but it really is y'all. It really is the white people out here doing this." So you saw that video, you look like you're shaking your head. You saw
Oh
that
yeah, oh
video?
yeah, oh, of
Yeah.
course. I've been looking at
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, so it's like it's a teachable moment to see how vindictive and how stupid and ridiculous white people, some white people are. I'm not gonna say all white people because that
Uh,
lady spraying on the wall and just and creating a scenario like we are the bad people. You know what I mean? It really is you. So
Right, the whole looting, I mean, all that stuff. It all gets thrown on us at the end of the day. Now,
oh
let's
man,
get into
listen,
this
I
about.
don't went on I
Uh,
went a crazy rant about the whole looting and all that stuff because it's look, our president. I don't know if y'all got a chance to listen to that 50-minute phone call he had with all the governors, but if you
mm,
the first 15 minutes, just listen to the first 15 minutes. He
okay.
mentions three times that there are groups that are inciting these riots, that are starting these riots. He says it three times in the first 15 minutes.
Hmm.
I've been saying it the whole time. I just waited for the proof before I started posting about it.
Mm. So
Good
they out
deal.
here starting this shit.
But listen, why
You said
would you?
that
You got to
last
think about it.
podcast.
Why
Mm,
would you start it? Because you want to diminish the value of the protest.
correct.
Mm.
There are groups that are trying to diminish the value of the protest because we talking for the first time ever. We talking. So I get what you say about Drew Brees. Give him a little grace. I'm just saying he got to be smarter, seeing the climate of today, and
You
have
do.
himself educated before he make his statements.
You do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
Now,
mhm.
now, do y'all think the team should forgive him?
I mean, the
You got to
team
go to
got to be together.
you got to go to battle with this man on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about it. You gotta, I throughout this whole process, it's been four words that I've really been talking about. It's been grace,
Mm.
love, dignity, and respect. Those are the four things you got to walk into every single conversation with. I
Mm.
have 3 to 5 conversations today with Caucasian people that are trying to understand. Those are the four things I walk into those conversations with. So I feel like, yes, they got to have a conversation with him because they got to go to battle with this man on Sunday for 16 games. So
17
they
now.
have to, 17 now. That's right. All the changes happening. So they gotta come together. You know
What
what I'm
about the
saying?
fans? What about the fans?
There
I
ain't no
can't control
fans.
fans.
There ain't
I
no
can't
fans.
control fans.
Mm.
I can't. I cannot tell African American people how to feel in this situation. The way I want to go about changing my little part of the world is going to be different on how you and Wynton gonna go about changing your part of the world. I can't tell you how to do that.
Is
I
New
can just
Orleans is losing money?
I don't listen. I don't know if the NFL will lose money because they're doing a really good job of trying to save face.
Mm.
Okay. 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 So let's just go one by one. All right. Ultimately, To start with JB, I already know his answer because he said it early. Ultimately, do you accept Drew Brees' apology? And any comments about his apology?
Um, do I accept it? Yes. I feel like he need to go out there and do diligently, give back to black businesses and understand our culture a little bit more, and do something. It's not just about an apology, just saying sorry and walking away. Actually going out there and showing that Black Lives Matter, and showing that you're sorry. Yeah, I would forgive him if after in time. So that's my answer.
All right, and then I'll go and I'll let Jason go. I don't accept his apology as of right now. Maybe later on I will. Is just his track record is too long for me to really even want to accept that right now. But just like JB said, if he's such a show about it, show it and be about it, then maybe I'll change my mind. But right now it's a pretty hard no. I supported Drew Brees a lot. I even have him in my rap lyrics. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I'm just not, I changed it around and everything. So I'm just not okay with the words he said, and how he said it. And I understand he's uneducated, but this kind of stuff with him has been going on for 3, 4 years, and people have been trying to tell him, and now he wants to listen.
Hmm.
And I just think it's one too many times with him that I'm just not gonna let him off the hook that easy. Not saying I wouldn't, but just not that easy. Well, anyways, go ahead, Jason.
I will acknowledge that he apologized, but I cannot judge a man on his words right now. I can only judge a man by his actions. So he has to show me that he means that. We are in a day and age where we get lip service from everywhere. We get it from our politicians, we get it from our athletes, we get
Mm-hmm.
it from our social media superstars.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will acknowledge that he apologized, but he's got to go out there and show it. Like, part of the apology is to show that you are making a change. So I will look for him to make that change before I say, hey, I'm going to accept the apology, but I will acknowledge that he made one.
Hmm.
There you go. I like that. I like that. And I want to say, forget Laura Ingraham and her white supremacist ass. You know what I'm saying? Fuck her, and let's keep it moving. So we're gonna go ahead and close out this show. We're gonna go ahead and get into another one. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the show. This is Real Name Wynton, JB Written, and Jason on the show from the We Are Not Okay podcast. This is Everyday Heroes signing out.